Hello everybody, welcome to my videos. My name's Jamie from All These Games. Today we're doing a poll results video. Okay, apologies, I am ill today. In fact, I've been ill all week. But here we go, we're live at the full poll results video. So one for the Amiga, one for the C4, and one for the Mega Drive already been completed. So this time I gave the viewers 3 weeks to vote for the top 15 select Spectrum games, old or new, but not including any Spectrum Next games. Of course, the top 3 games do earn those extra additional points, but not as much response this time. After 3 weeks, a grand total of 26 people voted, 203 games were picked, and a grand total of 545 votes. So thank you all these amazing people. So like before, the final person to vote was indeed myself, so I was number 26 on the list. It's quite difficult to try and think of the top 15, because I haven't had a lot of experiences with the Z Spectrum, but a few friends from school own one, but most of my friends had Master Systems, SNESes or Mega Drives, and occasional Amigas. So like before, like previous videos, numbers 15, 14, 13, 12 and 11, basically no webcam or microphone thrown over the top of it, so basically the game do the talking, and top 10 are done in the usual way. So when people were voting, of course those top 3 earn those extra points. So we'll start off number 15 on the list, let's go. Right, 15 to 11 has already been confirmed. Move on to number 10 on the list. Let's go.
Number 10.
Right, there we go. The old school password system. So, enter code at grid location GO. It is green, red, red, blue. Right, there we go. We're arriving at number 10 on the list. I have played it before, but mostly on the CD4. This is one of the ones I voted for. Came at number 10, 9 votes. Okay, so the game is Jet Set Willy, a platform video game written by Matthew Smith for the ZX Spectrum home computer, published in March 1984 by Software Projects, and ported to most home computers at the time. The game is a sequel to Manic Miner, published in 1983, and the second game in the Miner Willy series. It spent over 3 months on top of the charts and was the UK's best-selling home video game of 1984. The player controls Miner Willy as he ties up his mansion after a massive party to get some sleep. Players navigate Willy through 60 screens of the mansion and the grounds while collecting glowing items and avoiding hazards and guardians. And for this video, it features at number 10 with 9 votes. One of the ones that I voted for. It's brilliant. It really is a good game. But I'm struggling to remember if any of my friends from the school days own this one. It might well have done. But I was 2 when this game came out. This one I bought from John Menzies. And I've always preferred Manic Miner because I thought Manic Miner was an easiest game, having you having one single screen per level. But this one was gigantic. And even though we played quite a bit back in the day, me and Bob really did struggle. We just didn't know what we were supposed to do. But it's one of those sort of games that looks simple enough, but it's not. I mean, it's very easy to be killed in this game, but also these games is known to have fall damage, and you can't fall very far. But you start off with quite a lot of lives, start off with 7. Now, how long the game is, I have no idea, but I suppose it all depends how good you are. I'm not great at it, but this is basically a belt. If you walk along the belt, you'll move in that direction. So if you stop moving, you'll drop down to the floor. This is the chapel. So basically, you can't kill enemies in any shape or form. You basically run and jump. You can't crouch. Of course, the fall damage is a big problem, but this is the first landing. So this is basically the master bedroom. This is where you go once you finish all your items. Now, for years, I actually assumed this was your girlfriend or wife. Does that. Takes 2 steps forward, she kills you. But no, apparently it's not your wife. It's Maria, and she is basically the housekeeper. So once you find all the items, you go there and you finish the game. Manic Miner is tired and has to tie up all the items left around his house after a huge party. With this done, his housekeeper Maria will let him sleep. The mansion was bought with the wealth obtained from the adventure of Manic Miner, but much of it remains unexplored and appears to be filled up with strange creatures, possibly a result of the previous owner's experiments. He must explore the mansion and tidy it up to get some much needed sleep. And apparently also go on the beach as well as on a yacht. So this is the ballroom east. But yeah, sometimes it's the slow moving enemies which are ones which are most difficult, especially if close to a fast moving one. At the moment of time, it's 7:12 AM. I don't know if you've got to do it by a specific time. I'm assuming you have to. So, time those jumps wisely. This is the hall. How many items? I don't know. I'm not sure how many you've got to try and find, but back in the day, we got hardly anything. We never got anywhere. Halfway up the east wall. Now, I didn't want to go this way. In fact, what happened was, I went to go pick up my 11th item, and I couldn't get back. I do wonder you've got to try and do all the screens in pursuit order. So the only way was up. So I haven't seen this area before, but going up like this is always going to be a bit of falling down. Now, like Camelot Robbers on the CD4, if you go into a screen blind, especially if you're falling, you land on something, or you fall a long distance, all main lives are then taken away. So, you're going to fall from up here. This is the priest's hole. I mean, I have seen this enemy before. But it's going to be lots of pixelated jumps. You expect that. But yeah, do you have to do them in this order? I don't know. I have no idea. But who has finished this back in the day? There you go. One of the most iconic deaths in gaming history. There you go. More footage. Jet Set Willy.
Number 9.
Right, there we go. We're up to number 9 on the list. This one got a grand total of 10 votes. Gauntlet. Not a huge fan of playing games with keyboard, but at the moment of time, it is keyboard. So we'll go for Thor, and we'll go for the Kempton Stick. Okay, so the game is Gauntlet. It's a 1985 hack and slash video game, developed and published by Atari Games for arcades. It's one of the first multiplayer dungeon crawl arcade games. The core design for Gauntlet comes from the 1983 game Dandy for Atari 8-bit computers, which resulted in the threat of legal action. It also has similarities to 1983 maze game Time Bandit. Right, very short and sweet. Level 1 is complete. Level 2. The game is set within a series of top-down, third-person orthographic mazes, which are objective to kill monsters, gather treasure, and find the exit in every single level. Assortment of special items can be found, anything from increasing the player's health to unlocking doors, more points, or destroying all enemies on the screen. You've got a potion, you press the shift key, and that takes all enemies away. But if there's bones on the screen, which currently are, they're not going to be gone for very long. To remove the enemy respawns, either pick up the bones or destroy the bones. And it's a good version. I haven't seen this one before, but there's so many versions I haven't played. So for this video, it comes at number 9 with a grand total of 10 votes. It also earned 5 extra points being in the top 3s, and I think one person put it as their favourite game on the spectrum. And for me though, it took me until 2003 to play my first ever Gauntlet. It was on the PlayStation 2, which is Midway Arcade Treasures. Also got number 2 and 3, also on the PlayStation 2, so for me, very late. So not actually many Gauntlets I've played over the years. But we are the Warrior, but I've also never experienced any of these games in 2-player. I was wondering whether it's going to have any in-game speech. I don't think it does. But I do have warps, and in the first level it actually can go to level 4, or if you're really good, go to level 8. But of course, in doing that, it means more work to get there. Right, level 3 is basically a big, massive open square, and in a big area like this, there's going to be enemies all over the place. As long as in a way, you don't have to kill everything, it helps if you do. But when energy is good, and it is currently good, I don't know what the maximum is, probably 9999, I don't know. But you can also take keys onto other levels. You don't just have to use them all at the same time. There's one key at the top right, one key at the bottom left, and the exit doors at the bottom right also. And there's also plenty of energy along the way. There we go, superb. Well, there we go. Even though this is level 1, what you can technically do, it drops on the screen, you can assign the Kempson stick to both player 1 and player 2. And basically, we're controlling 2 characters now. Now we've got the Wizard and the Elf. Each player controls 1 of 4 playable fantasy characters. Thor the Warrior, Merlin the Wizard, Thera the Valkyrie, or Questor an Elf. The characters are named on the arcade artwork, but in-game they are just referred to by the title of their classes. There we go, double the firepower. So yeah, plenty of food along the way, but tell you, this is level 1, so you can technically go to level 4, or we're going to jump to level 8, but in doing that, a lot more enemies. But double the firepower is going to help. So, plenty of ghosts, plenty of ghouls, but it's not just ghouls and ghosts in this game, there'll be other things along the way, but the early stages just seem to be ghosts. Plenty of food, so many enemies, we're going to the exit door. No matter who gets there first and one of you does. Oh, you both got to get there. There you go. Level 8. One footage, that is Gauntlet.
Number 8.
I do like these old school loading screens. I always have, always will do. That's so good. There we go. Another game with very limited music. Coming at number 8, Attic Attack with 11 votes. Our guess the game is Attic Attack. It's an action-adventure video game. Developed and published by Ultimate Predator Game, released at Spectrum in 1983 and the BBC Micro in 1985. The game takes place within the castle, which the player must seek out the golden key of ACG by unlocking doors and avoiding enemies. It was Ultimate Predator Game's second game to acquire 48K of RAM. Most of the previous games on the Spectrum ran on unexpanded 16K models. And it's a very good game. I haven't played it for years though, but this one comes in at number 8 with 11 votes. Also had 3 extra points by people putting in their top 3. And I've only finished it on the Xbox One. I've never actually finished this game on the Spectrum, but the first time I played this one and Night Law was a rare replay. So basically, you've got to try and find 3 parts of the key. Now basically, when you start the game, there's a big massive door on the right hand side. That is the door of ACG. Now a lot of the doors at the start are basically open from the start, but some of them do open randomly. But you've got to try and find certain colour keys also. So you've got the blue, red, green and yellow, I think? I'm just guessing here. We've got the blue already, so of course we can go through blue doors. We can't go through other coloured doors other than white. But there's also other items you can pick up which protect you from certain enemies, and of course you can go through certain walls by having certain items, and I think you can also go through the grandfather clock. Also go up downstairs and also go through trapdoors. And food will replenish your energy. So then we've got the blue key, we go for the blue door. But we are the knights, and your weapons are good, but unfortunately you can also be hit by your own projectiles, because it bounces off the walls. So our energy is poo, it's really poo at the moment in time, so we need some serious energy to replenish this lot. Right, at the moment in time, energy ain't great, but you're not safe on the stairs either, but I'm still trying to find more coloured keys. couple of doors to open. There's one. And a crucifix. So this protected from vampires. Not much, but it's better than nothing. But what protects you from Frankenstein? I'm not sure. There's also a hunchback. And there's also an item that protects you from the hunchback as well, which you can put on the floor, which draws the hunchback to it. Right, what this game needs is not only in-game music. I've noticed there's not a lot of in-game music in some of these Spectrum games, but it also needs a map. Right, we've got the yellow key now, but unfortunately we've had to sacrifice the yellow key for crucifix. We're not protected from vampires now. But I haven't found the red key. I've seen a lot of red doors, but no red keys. But we can go through the yellow door. Now that also protects you from the hunchback, I believe. It's crazy. When I had no yellow key, I kept finding so many yellow doors. So now I've got the yellow key, I can't find a single yellow door. I'm finding so many red doors, but I still have not found this red key. Still trying to find this red key. The only red thing I've found so far is a red leaf. What the purpose of the red leaf is, no idea. 10 minutes. And we found it. There it is. Unfortunately, though, we've got to sacrifice one of our keys. We'll go for yellow. Oh, poo! No. Oh my god, that took so much energy away. We need some serious food. Right, now we start opening some of these red doors. So basically this game has 3 different characters. Each character has a different weapon. And also, I do believe these passageways you go into is different depending on which character you're using. Now, when I finished it for the first time, which of course was on Rare Replay, I do believe it was actually the knight. But I've also noticed that once you've used a coloured key on a coloured door, that door then stays open. So we've found one. I'm going to put all of them down, because of course we've got to try and substitute one of them. That gives you a bit of energy back. We'll take the red, and we'll take the green. So this is off the mark though, but yeah, 12 minutes and 50 seconds. More enough footage, that is Attic Attack.
Number 7.
There we go, this one has music. Also one of the ones I voted for. Coming at number 7, Target Renegade, 12 votes. There's the game, Target Renegade. It's a beat-em-up video game used for Ambition City, commissioned for as Spectrum Systems in the late 1980s by Ocean Software on their Imagine label. As well as a NES system version, it was developed by Software Creation and published by Chateau. The game is sequel to Renegade, which is followed by Renegade 3, the final chapter. When acquiring the license to convert the original arcade game Renegade to home computers, Ocean acquired the option to produce and release their own home computer sequels of the game, and Target Renegade was the first of those sequels. And back in the day, I didn't know anyone that had this game, or the first game for that matter, but this is a very good version, which came in at number 7 with 12 votes, also one of the ones I voted for, and being in someone's top 3s, it did earn an extra 2 points. It's a really good version, and it's nice it has in-game music. One thing I'm noticing is there's not many Spectrum games so far that I've seen that has much in-game music. Of course, it's nice that the occasional one does. If it doesn't have music, I'll try and add some more along the way. But this game, unfortunately, is a game which has a time limit, and it's one of those games I'm surprised it doesn't have one, because there's so much to see and do. You basically got to try and reach the elevator door, which is located on the right side of the screen, and this area takes place on 3 different floors. When you reach the elevator door, you go down a floor, time does not replenish, unfortunately, so you've got to get through these confrontations quite quickly. But using a sledgehammer, which in the CD version was a baseball bat, that's certainly going to help. But it's very easy to lose the sledgehammer, because when you lose it, of course they're going to pounce on it like a predator to its prey and pick it up very quickly and use it against you. But we do have energy bars, but no energy bars for enemies, including boss battles. No energy bars whatsoever. Right, slightly outnumbered, as you can see, this is scene 1, which takes place in the multi-storey car park. Here you'll meet a gang of motorcyclists who will either run you over or try to strike you down with their weapons. The motorcyclists must first be kicked off their bikes, but will only render them unconscious for a short period of time. Beware too of the members of the gang. Their friends will creep up on you unawares and attempt to crush you. So we arrive at the second elevator door, but for some reason, even though we do have a weapon, a very good weapon, a very handy weapon, he decides to throw it away at the end of each level. Quite a lot of games did that, and of course, motorcycles, very known for these sort of games as well. Is that it? That is it. So he throws it on the floor, we're not done yet, but he decides, no, we don't need a weapon, we'll go on without one. We got on to the final level. Right, we've still got 30 seconds, but what worries me is every time I defeat an enemy, another one pretty much rise straight away. And yeah, we've got to try and pick up that phone. That's the final piece. We have got a sledgehammer. You can also get maces and apparently pool cues. Other scenes in the game, one takes place at night in a street, one takes place in a park, a shopping mall, and the final one, I believe, is in a bar. But I think the aim of the game is to rescue your brother. But we've got to pick up his phone. Blimey, 3 seconds. Now this level, there's only people with guns, and if you get shot by a gun, that's an instant kill, whether you've got full energy or not. But also, if you're like in a... This guy... I didn't actually realise they're going to shoot each other, but yes, you get shot by the pistol, instant kill. So you've got to be on the move all the time, and you're not the quickest. I don't know if I've ever finished this level. There's our phone. I've noticed though that if there's one enemy on screen, you can actually move the screen along. If there's 2 or maybe even 3 on screen, you can't move the screen. But being on a street and not a multi-story, this is actually a much shorter level, so plenty of time this time. But there is our phone. We have been shot twice, which is why I've lost 2 lives. But plenty of time, 2 minutes 16. The maze isn't as good as the sledgehammer, in my personal opinion. I was quite intrigued to see what the next weapon was going to be. I wasn't really expecting it to be an axe. I've noticed though, the enemies don't pick the axe up. But the sledgehammer was better than the mace, but the axe is better than the sledgehammer. But yeah, it's much easier with a weapon in your hand, but some of them are better than others. There's our phone. That can't be it, surely. It's quite a short stage.
Number 6.
Right, there we go. Up to number 6 now. This one got a grand total of 13 votes. Also one of the ones I voted for, but plays it mostly on the CD4. Head Over Hills. Okay, so the game Head Over Hills, an action-adventure game published by Ocean Software in 1987 for several home computers. Head Over Hills is the second isometric game by John Whitman and Bernie Drummond after their earlier Batman computer game was released in 1986. The game received favourable reviews and was described by Zack64 as an all-time classic. It's a very good one, this one, but yes, I've only experienced this one and the C4 versions. And for this poll video, it features at number 6 with 13 votes. 2 people put it as a number 1 game, and it's also one of the ones I voted for. So we're not technically playing as 2 characters, not yet. We do later on at the same time, but at the moment in time, we're controlling Head. The Head has, of course, advantages over Hills, and Hills has advantages over Head. But when you start the game off, you don't have many additional skills, we'll try and find them first, but Head has the ability to fire projectiles, which at the moment in time, ain't got any. He has now, they can fire donuts, but first we'll try and find a hooter. So once you've got the hooter, they can fire them at your enemies, but it doesn't kill them, just stuns them for a limited amount of time. They jump over the toasters. The player controls 2 characters with different abilities. Head can jump higher than Hills, control himself in the air and fire donuts from his hooter to paralyse his enemies. Hills can run twice as fast as Head and climb certain staircases that Head cannot, and also can carry items in his bag. But like Head can't fire projectiles yet, he's got to find his hooter, and Hills can't pick up an item, he hasn't got his bag. Unfortunately, yes, we have got the hooter, the platforms break underneath you. The floor is deadly here. So basically, Head and Hills both have their individual lives, so both of them do have 8 lives each. So if one of you runs out of lives and it's game over for one of you, I imagine you probably can't finish the game. I don't think so, but I looked into it, apparently it isn't about 1/6 of the way through the game can you actually control both of them at the same time. Every so often, you will come across these bunny rabbits, and they do actually do work for you. And this enemy here, which I hadn't seen for so many years, we didn't get this far, I assume, if he's on the front of the cover, he was a good guy. He's not. Avoid the helicopter. So there is our first bunny rabbit. There's also one in the first screen. So sometimes it's give you additional lives, but in this case, it makes him run very fast. Now, of course, Hills can run faster than Head anyway, so now it's pretty much going to be pegging. But as you can see, by the time, it's going very quickly. If you press the Z key on the keyboard, you can use your hooter. It stuns them for a limited amount of time. Right, poor old Hills is sitting there not doing anything. I press the F key and switch over to him and go and try and find his bag. But yeah, that is his only limit of jump. Now when it comes to these bunny rabbits, I mean sometimes it's not such a bad thing for Hills. I mean Hills can't jump very far, but like Head, he can use his springs to get the high grounds. Now you find the bunny rabbit, if you're picking it up in Head state, it can either be extra lives, make him run faster, or make him invincible. If Hills picks up the jumping skill, it's not limited in time, it's limited in uses. Not sure what it does, we'll pick up anyway. So there is his bag, and people are saying it does look like, I suppose it does look like King Charles. So we're going to push this lever, move King Charles to push this block to the right location. And for Head, it'd be a piece of cake. For Hills, it's not see and do. So basically, this black platform is deadly. Don't make contact with any of the black platforms. So put it in place, and this is where we're going to hopefully get his bag. The occasional Pixel Perfect will come into play. There we go. Bob's got a brand new bag. Don't fall into Bob's pit. There we go. So now we can actually hold more items. How many can hold? I'm assuming probably one at the moment in time. So push up to the door, and you stand on it. To be one to figure out what key it was, it's actually L. Pick up the item, put it in our possession, and can stand on the platform, press L again, and that's how we get the higher ground. It's a bit different for heels, it's much easier for heads.
Number 5.
Right, there we go. Another classic. It's fantastic. Also one of the ones I voted for. Coming at number 5, 15 votes, Jetpack. Okay, so the game is a Jetpack, a shooter video game developed by Ultimate Play the Game, released for ZX Spectrum and the VIC-20 in 1983, later for the BBC Micro in 1984. It was the first game to be released by Ultimate Play the Game. The company that later became Rare. The game follows Jetman and must rebuild his space rocket by using his jetpack in order to explore different planets, while simultaneously defend against hostile aliens. Reviewers were praised Jetman's representation and gameplay, and it won Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards in 1983. And I was born in 1982, so this game, I was 1 year old when this one came out. It's fantastic, a game that deserves to be on this list, and it features at number 5 with 15 votes. It also earned 4 extra points, maybe top 3s. It was also one of the ones I voted for. And this was definitely the first ever ZX Spectrum game I played and saw back in the day. My friend Daniel had this at school, and it was brilliant. He had a few other ones. I believe he also did have Pajama Rama, but this was definitely the first one I saw. I mean, it has no in-game music, but of course this is 1983, so basically you've got to try and build your space rocket and refill your space rocket, and then we head into space. Really good game, fantastic. First level is complete. Permission to land, permission granted. This is technically level 2. It's very similar to the first level, only difference is, of course, different sorts of enemies, and this time we've got to rebuild it, we've got to refuel it. Each time it takes 6 fuel canisters. There's 2 ways you can do it, either drop it from the air when you're in line with the space rocket, or fly it or walk it directly to the space rocket. I suppose is a quicker way of doing it, but dropping it from the air is a safe way of doing it. You don't get any more additional weapons, all you get is a laser gun, but like in Asteroids, your bullets will go from one side of the screen to the other. It's always quite risky when they appear on each side of the screen, because when enemies appear from there's always a chance of an easy kill for them. I don't know if you earn additional life with score, maybe, but a lot of these items are basically just score, like diamonds for example. And I also don't know if there's a set pattern to these full canisters or where they land. I assume it's random each time. So that is the 5th, 1 more is required. But yeah, these enemies, I don't recall anyone that fire at you, I don't think they do. But some of them do move differently than others. And that is refueled, we walk into it and we head to the sky again. Fantastic. I don't know how many levels there are, but also there are levels where you have to rebuild a different space rocket. Okay, we refuel once again. Jetpack has been included in a lockable minigame in the 1999 Donkey Kong 64 as part of 2015 compilation Rare Replay. It was also included as a game compilation with the ZX Spectrum Vega. It spawned 2 direct sequels and a 2007 remake titled Jetpack Refuel, which was released for Xbox Live Arcade service. Which I do have. I don't know if that's technically completable. I got really far in the game, about 140, something like that. It was still going. But that game, you can get more additional weapons. This one, just the basics. So we've got to try and avoid these evil bubbles. So once again, we've got to try and refuel our space rocket using 6 fuel canisters. So we'll carry on like this. We'll do it from the air. It's a longer way of doing it, but it's a safer way of doing it. But yes, any additional pickups is also a bonus. And that's the final one. But I forget which level it is, we have to build a different space rocket. Right, it's flashing, avoid the bubbles. Really died there. Off we go again. Right, I assume it's every 5th level. So here is our brand new spaceship. We've got to build it first. Once fully constructed, we're going to refuel it, which needs 6 canisters. I totally forgot about these, but yeah, these UFOs are quite deadly. I mean, they don't fire you, nothing does. They just follow you everywhere you go. The one before this wasn't so bad, they're basically spaceships. But these ones are deadly. I totally forgot that not only can your bullets go from one side of the screen to the other, your character can do exactly the same thing, like that. I totally forgot about that. So we need 3 more. But yes, if you're walking, you're quite slow. But luckily there's no limited jetpack fuel. Imagine that. And I think it's maximum of 6 enemies on screen at any one time. So if you've got 6 on screen, you can just fly around and follow you. And these will follow you. You're going to follow me up there. There we go, brought enough footage, that is a jetpack.
Number 4.
Right, Right, next on the list, we arrive at number 4. A&F Software presents Chucky Egg. Coming at number 4 with a grand total of 17 votes. Okay, this game is Chucky Egg, a platform game released by A&F Software in 1983, initially released for the ZX Spectrum, BBC Micro, and Dragon 3264. All supported to the CG4, Acorn Electron, MSX, Tatsun Einstein, Amstrad CPC, and Atari 8-bit computers. Was later also updated for the Amiga, Atari ST, and IBM PC. And no surprise really, featured on the list, it featured at number 4 with 17 votes. It also had 7 extra points, and 2 people, no surprise really, one of them Mr. Spud, is a favourite game on the list. And for me, it has been quite difficult though, because this game, unfortunately, the only option you've got is keyboard or keyboard. I'm not a huge fan of keyboard games, but I've had no choice. I've had to redefine the keys using Q and A for up and down, and IOP for left, right, and jump. Luckily, it doesn't need any more additional controls. So you've got to try and find all of the eggs. There we go. Right, level 2. So you start it off with 2,000 bonus points and 900 seconds. Even though it's not technically 900, it goes far more faster than that. But if you pick up seeds, it actually stops the time for a limited amount of time. But the reason why I'm struggling with this game and keyboard is basically I've had very little experiences with games on keyboards. Got my CG4 1987, and of course that had a joystick already in the box. So that's how it all started with me. I didn't own a Spectrum back in the day, and the only sort of games I really played with keyboard is pinball games on the Amiga. You need left, right, shift, down for your plunger, and maybe spacebar for tilt. And that's pretty much it. There you go. Okay, this has been the one that's been most difficult during practice. And yes, I'm not great at jumping on and off ladders and avoiding hazards on keyboards. Considering I'm not used to keyboards. And the only real versions I've played this game on, of course, other than the ZX Spectrum, is the Amiga. That was the first one I played. That was on a live stream. This one up here did cause quite a problem on live stream because Mr. Spud was cursing his chair because I couldn't see it right up there on that stair. But it was blue. It was blending into the background because this one is clear for all to see. And also experienced the CD4 version and the BBC Micro, which was very, very brief, really brief. I saw it in an expo, the game was there, the system was ready to be played on, it would have been keyboard for sure. I pressed a button, what button it was I don't know, but it was enough to crash it. I didn't know how to rectify the problem, so I decided to walk away from it and pretend it didn't happen. So it was going to be played, it was planned to be played, but it didn't work. So not many versions I've tried. Right, now this hen on the left is proving to be the most difficult because there's very little areas that to go to. And that final egg is proving to be the most difficult. So if you jump into the cage, that kills you. Which I don't want to do anytime soon, but falling from a large distance isn't an instant kill. Right, so I want him to go away from the egg. There is a seed there, but it's not where I want him to be. He probably won't go down here. He might do. He is. Right. Quickly. Jump. Left and Q. Bingo! Fantastic. There we go. Ugh. Okay. Final one, we move on to the top 3. So quick question to viewers. What was the first game you experienced with keyboards? I mean, mine was probably Pinball Dreams, I expect. This has been difficult, but I've had a lot of practice on this one. I had to, because I was all over the place at the start. And this one's not too bad either, but once again, it's the hen on the left that will cause the most problem, because in this one, it has even less areas to move to. But it is jumping on and off ladders I'm struggling with the most on keyboards. And also, you don't die falling from a height, but you can bounce off the walls. That can really save your bacon. Right, that's not what I had in mind. So jump to the other side. Try that again. Well, in this case, do exactly the same again, and we'll try again. 3rd time's a charm. Jump from here. And then here. No, from here. Yes, okay. So that bottom left, I'm going to leave to the end once again. Still quite a lot to see and do, though, but it all scattered all over the place. Down there. Even this one hasn't got a lot of area to go to. Right, 2 more. Mind the birds! Oh my gosh! Right, okay. Don't press the wrong key. There we go. More footage. Chucky Egg.
Number 3.
Right, had to be in there somewhere. Sid Blockbuster movie, video available 11th of November for Virgin Vision. We've got music on this one, yay! It's fantastic though. Unfortunately though, it's at 11 o'clock at night. So unfortunately, I have to abandon this and carry on tomorrow after work. But this one, number 3, Robocop, 18 votes. Okay, resume play. It's actually day 3 now. Day 3, resume play at number 3, Robocop. Copyright 1987, Orion Pictures, all rights reserved.
Serve the public trust. Protect the innocent. Uphold the law.
Okay, so the game is Robocop, a 1988 run-and-gun beat-em-up video game published by Desert East for arcades and Ocean Software for home computers, based on a 1997 film of the same name. It was sub-licensed by Desert East by Ocean Software, who obtained the game rights from Orion Pictures during the film's script stage. And for this poll, it features at number 3 with 18 votes, and also it did actually earn 9 extra points, and also one of the ones I voted for. In fact, this one is actually definitely in my top 3. But this is a version which is very good, which I did play very late. And I'm going to refer to the Amiga version and the CD4 versions the most, because those are the ones I played the most. The CD4 version I did get in 1989, that one I've never finished. The Amiga version I have. But this is so different to the CD4 version, because of course in that one, you start off with basically one life, is all you have. On this one, we have extra lives. But I don't recall many versions having limited ammunition. Of course, some bullets do, but the one you start off with is also limited. Of course, you do have the punch. So, the energy bar is going to be a big part here, but of course you can pick up more energy along the way. But the first time I played this one was actually in 2019 at an expo. And even though I really enjoyed it, unfortunately it had to be done with keyboards, there was no joystick present. This was not so bad on keyboard for me. But the biggest letdown for me was when I played it in 2019, unfortunately there was no sound. So it took me quite some years to get to hear the sound for the first time, and I wasn't disappointed. It's absolutely amazing. And people are saying this is one of the best versions, it's certainly up there. But a big fan of the games, a big fan of the films. There's still some Robocop games I'm still to try and finish, and still some I've got to try out. Including modern ones, of course. So we do have limited bullets, and we do have an evil time of it. It's very rare run out of time on this version, but this evil version is known to happen. It's brilliant. Superb. Okay, arrive at the first bonus stage. Of course, it's different per version. Evil version only have one life, meaning you get one chance. Make a mistake or shoot a lady too many times or run out of time, game is over. Amiga version, of course, does have shooting galleries. So don't shoot the lady too many times. Okay, this is level 2, and we have 2 lives intact. The game was a critical commercial success. The arcade game was the highest grossing arcade game in 1988 in Hong Kong, and reached number 2 on Japan's monthly game machine arcade charts. On home computers, the game has sold over 1 million copies worldwide, and was especially successful in the United Kingdom, where it was the best-selling home computer game of the 1980s. And like Tiger Renegade, bikes are deadly in this one. You can punch them and shoot them with a single shot if you've got the right bullet to do so. Now the Amiga version, of course, you can jump. You jump by pressing down and up. The CD4 version, you press up and fire. And this one, I don't know if you can jump, I'm not sure. But enemies will appear in the windows. So looking at that life system down the bottom, I'm assuming you can get a maximum of 4. So you probably do earn more through score, or earn them in the bonus stage. And these games are not short on those. One thing I've noticed with these poll videos, as much as I'm really enjoying them, there hasn't been many movie-based games featuring the top 15 lists. Also on this one, Batman the Movie, one of the ones I voted for, got 6 votes, Cobra got 4, and The Great Escape also got 6. I've never played that one, but of course I have seen the film. Right, weapons are okay. We've got 25 of one and 15 of another. But when you get the ones that fire through multiple with one shot, that's going to gain some ground. My god, I can't move. It's a really good version though. But the CD4 version is taking serious doing. I've tried multiple times to try and finish that one. I can't get anywhere. By the time I get to the warehouse, it's known to have very limited in time. I don't know technically if it is completable unless you break through a wall by basically trying to break the game. I suppose there's ways. I have seen long players where you can do it, but me being me, no cheats. Absolutely no cheats. Look at my energy! Horrific. Right, edit here, input data, another classic bonus stage. Of course, in other versions, again referring to the CD4 version, you only get one chance. If you get it wrong on this one, you will lose a life though, but of course with more reserve. So you get the chin right. That's right. Get the ears right. That's right. Pick his nose, not literally. Pick his nose. That's that one. Get the nose right, get the mouth right. Hand on the moustache will make it a tad easier for you. There we go. Fantastic. More footage, that is Robocop.
Number 2.
How did this happen? My favourite game on the Spectrum loaded up. Well, it just happens to be number 2 on the list. Number 2 goes R-Type. So there we go. Blast off and try the Evil Bino Empire. Coming number 2, R-Type, 21 votes. 1987 by IREM Corp. Okay, so the game is R-Type, a 1987 Hollywood story shooter video game, developed published by IREM for arcades. The player controls the R9 Arrowheads in its efforts to destroy the Bino, a powerful alien race bent on wiping out all of mankind. The R9 can acquire a glowing audible device known as the Force, giving limited protection for enemy firepower and providing additional firepower of its own. And for this video, very pleased it does feature in this video. It features at number 2 with 21 votes. And 3 people put it as a number 1 place. One of them might have been me, quite possibly. Yes, it was certainly me. One of them was anyway. It did earn 9 extra points. It's a very good version, it's a very good game. It's my favourite game of all time, which is no surprise really, it's my favourite Spectrum game of all time. Even though this version did play very late. Although of all the versions I've played, all the versions I've bought over the years, I haven't played or bought all of them, but I'm slowly getting there. But this is the version I've had the most problems with. I have managed to try and capture it in the past on the Spectrum Next. I was going to try and feature it on this video on the Spectrum Next, but I'm still having a lot of problems with the sound. Only when I'm capturing it on the PC. It's a bit of a mystery to me. But still, I'm very pleased it features. It looks great, it's a bit slower than other versions, but it's nice, colourful, vibrant, brilliant, superb, and of course the weapons at the start are very basic. But yes, the Force is key. The Force is technically indestructible, but it won't protect you from everything. But if you get hit by a flame or a laser, you'll go through the Force like a knife through butter. But you can get more weapons along the way. The reflection laser, the anti-aircraft laser, the ground laser, homing missiles, extra speed, and the shield orbs, also known as the bits. Now you always get the top one first, then you get the bottom one. Depending on which weapon you've got, they also fire. But like the Force, you can also protect yourself with those from enemy bullets. And of course you can kill enemies with the bits, the shield orbs, or the Force. And pressing the spacebar can detach the Force, and you also put it on the rear of the R9. This is actually quite a difficult bit though, because the bullets are quite slow and the screen is moving quite slow also. It's quite difficult to try and not die here. But yes, slow moving bullets can be a bit of a problem. In fact, I didn't actually shoot it at all. I missed it altogether. Never mind, we do start the game off with quite a lot of lives on this one, 5. And of course we do have the beam, which is great for boss battles and it's also great for destroying multiple enemies with one single shot. But this is also a version I haven't finished. The first version I saw was on the Amiga. That is also my favourite version, and that was 1990. Wasn't long after that, I went to John Menzies and bought it on the CD4. It's so good. I mean, I cannot get enough of this game, so I'm very pleased it features on this list. I'm very high up as well. So we'll probably just do one level for this video because I've had so many problems trying to get it working. But it's brilliant. At the moment of time, 29,000 exactly is all we got. So this should be the homing missiles. R-Type was commercially successful and praised by critics for its graphics and addictive gameplay. It was criticised for its difficulty. It's commonly cited as one of the best shoot-'em-up games and one of the greatest video games of all time. Its success inspired several sequels and spin-off games, as well as home ports and releases of digital distribution services. And of course, over the years, there's so many remakes. I could sit here and name you all the ones I've played and got, but they're quite a lot. I'm bound to miss some. But yeah, a lot of them are being remade, of course, is a good thing. But it features also on Game Boy, PlayStation 1. My favourite also game on the PlayStation 1 is R-Type Delta and R-Type, believe it or not, which also feature R-Type 1 and R-Type 2. Right, the iconic Doc Pteropod. Now, of course, this one, you've got to try and defeat it slightly differently on this one. I still try and use the Force majority of the time. But on this one, you've got to destroy its eyeballs first. So, once you do that, it draws towards you. And I tend to put the Force right in the middle and try and destroy it with the Force. It's absolutely superb. Not a lot of music in this version. I'll try and add more along the way if I can. But there we go. More live footage. Level 1 is complete. That is R-Type.
Number 1.
There we go. Cue its iconic theme tune. It's an amazing game. It's absolutely superb. But once again, I played it mostly on the CD4. Coming at number 1, Manic Miner with 27 votes. Okay, the game is Manic Miner, a platform game written for the Z Spectrum by Matthew Smith. It was published by Bug Bites in 1983 and later the same year by Software Projects. The first game in the Miner Willy series. The design was inspired by Miner 49er, released in 1982 for the Atari 8-bit computers. Retro Gamer called Manic Miner one of the most influential platform games of all time, and it's been ported to numerous home computers, video game consoles, and mobile phones. And here we are, 42 years later, it's number 1 in the latest MJG poll. Huge congratulations to the game, it deserves to be there, and I'm very pleased it's there because it is also the ones I voted for. It was in my top 3, so yes, you know what my top 3 are. First one was R-Type, second one was Robocop, and the third one was Manic Miner. Once again though, I played it so much on the CG4. This one I bought from John Menzies in 1989, I think it was. What I paid for it I cannot remember, and I still can't remember to this day if it was Manic Miner or Jet Set Willy I played first. But I've always preferred this one. It's a much shorter game than Jet Set Willy. Of course, the same mechanics are there, but this time we do have a draining air meter. And of course, each level is done by a single screen, and there's 20 screens. Each level, or each screen should we say, has a select number of items you've got to try and find. Find all the items, then go to the exit door. And like Jet Set Willy, you cannot fall large distances. And I'm going to try something I've never tried on this one. This is the cold room. So of course, you can't fall small distances, but we're going to jump off the edge and fall straight to the exit door, because falling to the exit door is not an instant kill, provided you found all the items first. So we go on to the menagerie. And when I first played this back in the day, I really liked it right from the go. Of course, there was so many deaths in the first few screens. The one that got me for the longest bit of time was level 5, which we'll get to very soon. So there's going to be hazards of plenty, and of course, platforms fall beneath you. Start the game off with 2 lives, and of course you do earn more lives along the way, which you expect. So this one I have finished. I haven't played it for a while though, but I have played so many different versions. I probably could do a separate video straight on Manic Miner alone, after I made ports and clothes it's had loads over the years. We arrive at level 5. This is Eugene's Lair. Manic Miner was developed by Matthew Smith following a request for a Donkey Kong-style arcade game from Alan Mayton, Bug Bites Dispatch Manager. It was Smith's second game for the publisher following Styx, and both games were among 9 titles launched by Bug Bites at a computer fair at Earl's Court in June 1983. Initially, Manic Miner only had 16 screens until Smith found a way to add 4 more, finally finishing the game in August 1983. And I bought it at the age of 7. And this is the one that got me for a while because I was completely taken by surprise, because not only are you going to get killed by toilets, I wasn't expecting Eugene in the middle of the screen to drop down to the bottom of the screen and block your exit door when you find the final item. What one I picked up last, I can't remember, but it wasn't the right one, so yes, I was stuck. And this game, of course, to have a draining air meter, any air that's remaining at the end is then converted to points. But you've got to make sure you get the highest points and get the one close to the exit, otherwise you're stuck. We go on to the processing plant, and we have these Pac-Man lookalikes. Now we've got to find some flashing keys. Right, so this is the VAT, or the VAT, and normally I get an extra life on this one. But then normally I play it on the CG4. So you know when you get additional life, because on the CG4 version the screen will flash like a disco. So at the moment of time we only have 2. So you have 7 lives at the start of Jet Set Willy, and Manic Miner you have 2. Ah, there we go, it does flash. Fantastic. Right, now we've got 3. So we've got to try and avoid these, I assume, I don't know what they are, kangaroos, mice, either way they're deadly. And of course, avoid the spikes. So we can jump on the spots and jump at an angle, and once again you can't crouch and you can't kill any enemies. So we go to the exit door once again, but this time with 3 lives. I say he doesn't kill anyone or anything, but I suppose in a way he does. This is Miner Willy mixed with Combies, and on each side of the screen there's a switch. Hit both switches, and he kills the Combies. He's not technically dead, but he returns later on. But I suppose in a way, that's close as he gets to killing something, or someone. Although, we are close to death though, because look at our air. It's in the red. I was about to go into the reds. Wait for this thing to move out of the way, and on we go. Okay, we do one more. This is Endorian Forest. I've lost track what level it is now, but so far, 1 death. Bit of a silly one, really, but yeah, it's got its fair share of pixelated jumps. And I did pixelate it enough, so we've got to try and jump over these bunny rabbits. So the red platforms are basically fallable platforms. Everything else is steady as a house. Now these leaves are basic instant kills. There's so many things you wouldn't expect big instant kills are. The game is officially ported to Amiga, Amstrad CPC, BBC Micro, Commodore 16, Commodore 64, Dragon 3264, Game Boy Advance, mobile phones, MSX, Oric 1 and the Sand Coupe. I don't know what these are, but we're going to have to jump at an angle because yes, we'll be killed by a leaf. Right, so we have to fall down. Lucky there's enough platform to step onto. That's testing his jumping and he's falling. But there we go. Plenty of air and score is good as well. More no footage, that is Manic Miner. Okay everybody, it's more no footage. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all those that took part. That is your top 15 ZX Spectrum games, old or new. In terms of my top 15 however, 7 of them didn't make the list. There was a few that I picked that no one else picked, but some of these I haven't played for 20, 30 years or so. Nice to go back to. Hopefully some more in the new year. Until next time, take it easy. Ciao, bye. See ya.